Hello, and welcome back to Survival Horror Gaming. Today, we're going to be talking about Resident Evil 1 and whether or not it should be remade again. The original RE1 came out in 1996 for Windows and PS1. Then in 2002, it was remade for the GameCube. And then in 2015, it was ported and remastered for the PS4, Xbox, and PC. So, it has been remade once and remastered once. The 2D background game from 2002 that honestly holds up really well in 2025. The faithful adaptation of the original game. So, should it be remade in the RE engine? Here's why it makes sense. Resident Evil has had major success lately with their RE engine games, and it only seems likely that it would get remade too. And why not? They remade 2, 3, and 4 in the span of 4 years, and all those games sold really well. It would make sense to remake it and have the new remakes fit in their own timeline together. The Spencer Mansion would look amazing in the RE engine. They can reuse enemies and assets from 2 and 3 remake. The game has a ton of potential. They also already have a new Jill, Chris, and Wesker from the recent remakes. Chris would need de-aged some, and you'd also need a new Barry Burton as well and a new Rebecca Chambers. This game can essentially be an RE2 remake clone. You'd have your backtracking as well as your puzzles, all while being in a super detailed, dark Spencer Mansion. They can't mess this game up since it's the original game. This game can't be a linear action horror mess as well. However, since it's already been remade once, they could take some liberties with it. Here's what I think they can do to make it a good remake. First off, I think it needs an A and a B scenario like the original RE2. No more having a character locked up the whole game. We need a definitive canon ending. So Chris, Jill, Barry, and Rebecca will all explore the Spencer estate at the same time. The intro is redone to include Chris, Jill, and Barry in the main hall. And then Wesker leaves to collect his combat data. And throughout the game, they all four run into each other at some point. I think you can show Brad Vickers going back to the RPD to grab the rocket launcher. Now, I believe that as big as the Spencer estate is, it's not big enough for this many people to be running around and not run into each other all at the same time. So my solution to this is to make another explorable area to the property to create some separation. And I think they should use the walkie-talkies more. But at the same time, they can have malfunctions from time to time. Make a better zapping system between the two characters, much like in the original Resident Evil 2. Needs to be a more cohesive story as well. Now, I think you can have multiple endings as well, and that comes from whether or not you rescue Barry and Rebecca in your playthrough. They should also include music from all versions of the original game, as well as director's cut. And they should do references or Easter eggs to all the past versions of RE1. Also, an unlockable fixed camera angle would be really cool too. Now, I think that they could go all out with this remake. This could come out in 2026 for the 30th anniversary of the series, and they do this by remaking RE0 as well. RE0 is essentially an RE1 remake clone, other than having a partner system and no item box. Everyone hates the lack of item boxes, so the simple solution to this is to add an item box into the game and improve the partner AI. Additionally, Rebecca's character needs to be reworked. In RE1, she is helpless and forgets how to handle herself. It's a big thing fans have talked about for years. Also, it's a great way to clear up the fact that Rebecca and Wesker had different voice actors in those two games. With a definitive remake, we can make sure it's the same actors for consistency. Also, those chapters out of the Chronicles games can be implemented as well. We learn what Wesker does between the events of 0 and 1, and what Rebecca does between those two games as well. And at the end, we see Wesker's reanimation and how he escapes the mansion. If you like T-Virus zombies, In that old school style with a modern approach, remaking these two games into one seems like the obvious choice. See a lot of fans online who want zombies to return and don't like the recent viruses and monster types the series has had. But we will still always have the original, even if it doesn't live up to the O2 remake. For me, I want it remade despite the fact that the O2 game is my favorite in the series.
Jill!
You made it!
Jill, use it! Kill it, whatever it is!
So, in conclusion, mainly fixing the story and make it more cohesive and not having a character locked up the whole game will make a big difference. The inclusion of RE0 as a playable campaign would be a nice touch as well. Also, just experiencing this game in the RE engine would be amazing. This game is the best remake in the series for a lot of fans. If this game is remade, it needs to be handled similar to 4 and 2 remakes. And what about a Code Veronica remake? Should they remake it too? Let us know in the comments what you think about future Resident Evil remakes. Thanks for watching. Thanks again for watching. And if you're new here, like and subscribe. And if you're interested, I stream on Twitch and YouTube under Survival Horror Gaming. So if you're interested, we do a lot of survival horror games on there. So thank you.